2013. Eric Duncan, 2014 and 2015. Jamie McDonald, 2016, 2019, and 2024. Karma Williams, 2022. And Tony Fraser, 2023. I would also like to take a moment to recognize a past warden that we've lost this past year, Chris McDonnell. Chris was a good friend to SDNG and enjoyed attending these events every year. I would now like to introduce the members of council of the United Counties of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry. Andrew Gaindon, Deputy Mayor, Township of South Stormont. Brian McGillis, Mayor, Township of South Stormont. Steve Densham, Deputy Mayor, Township of North Stormont. Francois Landry, Mayor, Township of North Stormont. Mark St. Pierre, Deputy Mayor, Municipality of South Dundas. Jason Broad, Mayor, Municipality of South Dundas. Tony Fraser, Mayor of Township of North Dundas. And Karma Williams, Deputy Mayor, Township of North Glengarry. Jamie McDonald, Mayor, Township of North Glengarry. Lachlan McDonald, Mayor, Township of South Glengarry. And Martin Lang, Deputy Mayor, Township of South Glengarry. Teresa Bergeron, Deputy Mayor of Township of North Dundas, has sent her regrets. I'm now going to call Kimberly Castleman, the Director of Corporate Services and Clerk of the United Counties, to come forward and administer the oath of office for the position of warden.
Councillor Martin Lang was elected warden on motion moved by Councillor Carmen Williams, seconded by Councillor Lachlan McDonald, at the meeting of the Council of the United Counties of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry on August 26, 2024. I would ask Councillor Martin Lang to please come forward and read the declaration of office for warden.
I, Martin Lang, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially, to the best of my knowledge and ability, execute the office of warden to which I have been elected in this municipality, that I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of any partiality, malversation, or other undue execution of such office, and that I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, as required by and in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act, and that I make this solemn declaration conscientiously believing it to be true and knowing that that is of the same force and effect as if made under oath. So help me God.
I now invite Councillor Tony Fraser to assist in the installation of the warden-elect.
Jump up. Hey.
The golden chain of office we now place on your shoulders. Being circular in form, it shows that our warden was chosen from the circle of councillors who compose the council of these counties. Investing you with it designates that we not only consider you as our chief official when we are in session here, but also that we place on you the responsibility of honorably representing this council at any other public functions where we are represented. The designs engraved on the chain serve to express those responsibilities which we all recognize as consistent with our presence here. The crest at the bottom of the chain being that of the counties, reminds us of our responsibilities to these united counties, that we and you give careful consideration to all the subjects that may come before us, and that we thoughtfully and economically administer the various municipal services and public affairs entrusted to us. Above this crest is another, that of the province of Ontario, by whose statutes we exist and act. To this province and its government, we owe all the cooperation we can give through our various services and institutions that our taxpayers may receive every consideration. Next in order, we find the maple leaf, the emblem of our country. This reminds us that we should never falter in our loyalty to this great country, with union of provinces stretching from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean. And then, resting on your shoulders is the Union Jack, the flag of our Commonwealth, under whose folds we are privileged to live, whose freedoms we enjoy, and whose democratic justice gives us the right to conduct our private as well as our municipal affairs unhampered. By this emblem on your chain of office, we also pledge our allegiance to His Majesty the King, who rules our Commonwealth on land and on sea around the world, wherever the flag flies. Having invested you with your chain of office, it is but fitting that those sponsoring your nomination should be asked to place you in the warden's chair. Councillor Karma Williams and Councillor Lachlan MacDonald will now escort the newly elected warden to his chair.
I now declare Martin Lang to be Warden of the United Counties of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry for the ensuing year.
Mr. Warden, on behalf of the members of this council, I convey to you hearty congratulations upon your election as the Chief Executive of this body, and pledge our ongoing cooperation and support so that the affairs of these United Counties of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry can continue to be conducted in harmony and result in success and prosperity for you personally, as well as our United Counties.
I would like to recognize some distinguished guests that are present today and ask them to come forward to bring greetings. First, we will have Senator Bernadette Clement.
I'm glad we're the same height, Maureen. I don't have to adjust the mic. Bonjour. Good morning. Sego. I'm going to bring greetings and gratitude and congratulations. I'll start with the greetings. So the Senate sat late last night. We were busy passing the GST holiday bill. Contentious. Ottawa is a tense and political place. And I don't say politics in a negative way, because politics is how we manage and support our democracy. But I'm always happiest to be here at home, to be with friends and colleagues and elected officials and municipal officials. I continue to work with the Association of Municipalities of Ontario on a healthy democracy project. And you will not be surprised to know that while trust in institutions is waning, trust in our local government is still quite powerful. People in communities know that municipal elected officials are doing the public service that counts, that shows, that matters, that is connected to community. And I guess this is where I get into the gratitude piece. Everything I've learned here in Cornwall, here in SDG. In fact, in this very room is where I started my career as a lawyer when this was a courtroom 34, 35 years ago. So when I'm in Ottawa dealing with issues, everything I've learned here alongside you, from you. And so I'm grateful to all of you for doing this level of work that keeps trust in institutions alive. Thank you. Message of congratulations. Warden Lang. Sounds good, eh? So I love this event. I really do. I've attended many times. And what I really like best is seeing how proud the families are of your installation, the installation of a warden. It's important. And you don't get up there alone. You're there supported by family and friends. And so I want to recognize that as well. And also say that I think it's really cool that you did this in August, that there was a lot of overlap, because we know that Jamie likes to impart his knowledge and have the time to do so. But it's important to have that overlap. I think that makes sense, especially as a new warden. But you're not so new. I know how connected you are to community. I know how much you love your community, and I know that that's going to show in all of the work that you're going to do. So I'm really proud and grateful personally, because we're all going to benefit from this. Please know that I remain available to collaborate with all of you, always. Alors, je suis tellement fière d'être ici. Je suis tellement reconnaissante envers tous les gens ici, dans cette salle et ailleurs, et je suis très fière. Congratulations, Warden Lang.
I would now like to ask Eric Duncan, our MP for Stormont, Dundas, and South Glengarry, to come up.
Good morning, Mr. Warden. If you don't like the title of that, you're going to get used to it and find out for the next year or so. It is good to be with you all this morning, and I want to pass on congratulations as well on behalf of the House of Commons and my colleagues. I'm chuckling. Senator Clément is correct. Ottawa can be quite an intense and busy place. Is this your family in the front row? Is this a grandchild?
Yes, two of them.
Nice.
3 at a Christmas concert today.
Well, there was a few that were, a little bit of noise over there and heckling and crying a little bit. And it's fine. People say, does that distract you when you're public speaking? I'm like, I work in the House of Commons. That's nothing. That is, just sounds just like at work today. Exactly. It sounds just like work today. Martin having it. I've started something I can't finish here, I think. I don't know. Martin, I was thinking about what to say today, and my comments will be brief, but just this. One of the challenges we have in public life today at all levels of government is making sure that we have good people stepping up to serve in leadership roles. I look over at County Council that we have here, and I look at the gentleman that has just taken the oath of office. And I am grateful that these folks and this gentleman has stepped forward to serve our community. Martin, the council chambers here on a Friday in December are full, not just by chance. It is a testament, as I see your family here, many friends and family, past wardens and colleagues, past and present. It is a testament to your leadership and your character. Every time we're out in the community, you and Jenny, the conversations are wonderful, and I get to see firsthand just the respect that you command, and rightfully so, in South Glengarry. And as warden the next year, those that get to know you more across all of SDNG are going to be impressed by what I've been able and blessed to be alongside the last couple of years. I wish you all the well. I wish council all the best in your deliberations this year. Keep up the great work, and thanks for stepping forward.
I would now like to call up Nolan Quinn, our MPP for Stormont, Dundas, and South Glengarry.
That's pretty normal. Thank you, Maureen. Congratulations, Warden Lang, and if you're anything like me, you won't get used to the title. People call me minister all the time now, and I do give credit to Martin for getting into cabinet. He very early on told me I need to tie my shoes, and I've been tying them ever since, and he makes sure that they're tied all the time too. So, dress for the part you want to work in. But Martin and Jenny, you guys are at every event, not just in South Glengarry, but do see you, throughout SDNG quite often. And we're very lucky in this area for the leadership we have, whether it's the past wardens. I've had 4 wardens in my short time being elected, with Karma, Tony, Jamie, and now Martin. And Jamie was joking that we have an announcement next week, and whether we planned to do that after he was not warden, definitely did. Absolutely. Yeah, no, it is a tough role, and it is a commitment from the family as well. So thank you for that, and I can recognize that. I got in last night at 2 a.m. I was in Kitchener, so quite often my wife is doing it alone and recognizing that it's a family commitment as well. So thank you to the whole family. And I don't know what Senator Clement or MP Duncan are saying. There's no tension at all in Toronto, at all. So I'm not sure what's going on in Ottawa, but ultimately it does take a commitment to do the role you're doing. So thank you for that. And I know you have a great county council that helps with that as well. So, very proud to be from SDNG. Cornwall, Akwesasne, and SDNG is one of the best places to live in Ontario. The more I travel with my new role, the more, as Bernadette Clement mentioned, just getting to the SDNG sign on the 401, I feel at home. And I feel a sense of calmness that we don't necessarily see in the bigger cities. So congratulations. Looking forward to working with you. As Senator Clement said, I'm available sometimes, probably not all the time for you, Martin. But no, definitely available when you need the support. But to be frankly honest, being new to politics, all of the wardens have been really good mentors to me and helped me to understand and get the feet underneath me, because it is pretty intense. And as Bernadette Clement and Eric Duncan, they started in municipal politics. I did not. So it was definitely a steep learning curve in that regard, but I'm very much looking forward to you, and congratulations. Thank you.
I would now like to invite up Abram Benedict, the Ontario Regional Chief.
Sego, good afternoon. I bring greetings on behalf of the Chiefs of Ontario. I was here last year as the Grand Chief of Akwesasne, and since then have now taken on a role that represents the 133 First Nations across Ontario. And so it's a great pleasure, as I was speaking with Bernadette, before Senator Clement, before we came up here, and just reflecting on the time that I've had in the region as a member of Akwesasne, and being in this chamber. I've learned lots, and there's a lot of strong leadership in this room. There's a lot of strong leadership in this region. And every time I come to a podium and talk about where I'm from, I talk about Akwesasne. Now I talk about the 133 First Nations across Ontario. But I always remind people of where Akwesasne is in the SDNG, Cornwall area, Eastern Ontario. It's much further, much more past Kingston. And I know that from the leadership in this room, I've heard lots about that. And I know that our member of parliament here, our member of provincial parliament as well, do lots of advocacy for this region. And we look upon the work that we do as elected leadership in this room. It's not always an easy task, and I uplift every member of council here, your new warden today as well. I was able to share in the dinner that we had, the warden's dinner, a couple weeks ago or last month, and we were able to share in roasting the soon-to-be former warden who is here. And I think when we think about politics, right, and this is kind of one of the only rooms I think about where there's an election that happens every year, and you still continue to see the same people at the table. And so I know that I was thinking about Jamie when that comes around. I'm thinking so many people love him, but they wouldn't. Sometimes it seems as though they don't want to see him again. But that's the commitment that each and every one of your elected officials, including myself, who represents Akwesasne in a different capacity, put out there. And I want to uplift the family as well, all the families that support. And Minister Quinn mentioned about family, extremely important in the work that we do as elected leaders. There was a friend that I had created as a member of Quebec, quote-unquote Quebec First Nation, who was no longer a chief, but 3 months later was in an altercation near his community and was stabbed. And that really hit hard to me because, as elected leader, we think that, when the office is done, you're out the door.
But in times like this, it's where family, those sort of situations is where family is extremely important, and they sacrifice so much. And I know that as the warden and the other role that you have in the municipal is tasking and is tough on you. In the times that we live in, people are difficult with their elected leadership, and all of the folks that have spoken before me have mentioned that. And so I want to acknowledge the work that you do, are going to be doing for this region, this great region that includes Akwesasne, includes neighbors, that makes this region a great place. And I want to say that in my role as the Ontario Regional Chief that represents 133 First Nations across Ontario, if there's anything that we can do to help support the work you do here, creating those opportunities with Akwesasne as well, just learning from the many nations that exist across Turtle Island and specifically around Ontario, I'm here to support that. And I extend that to each and every one of you. You know that every time I've come here, I talk about partnerships and how extremely important that is. And that's a huge value that I have, and I contribute so much in this room to growing myself and talking about the great region that we have. So with that, on behalf of myself, I want to say congratulations, Warden, and I know that the next year is in good hands with the work that you have to do as the Warden. So Yamago and as well as other languages is Miigwech is a Schnabik language. So.
I would also like to invite up Justin Towndale, Mayor for the City of Cornwall.
Thank you, Maureen. Good afternoon, everyone. Bon après-midi. Sego. Je suis vraiment fier d'être ici au nom de la ville de Cornwall puis notre conseil, comme ami, comme voisin, comme partenaire. Et je suis hâte de continuer notre travail ensemble. On behalf of the City of Cornwall, I'm very proud to be here as a neighbor, as a friend, as a partner to continue our work together. We certainly have a long history of working together. I want to acknowledge that I'm joined, I saw Councillor McDonald here earlier, our interim CEO Tracy Bailey's here, General Manager of Parks Development and Recreation Melissa Morgan, but in a former life, General Manager of our Human Services Department. I was going to say Social Services, but we did rename that a few years ago. And I want to highlight them because we have meetings here on a monthly basis to discuss issues and files that we work on together. And certainly the partnership between the City of Cornwall and the United Counties of SCNG is an important one. And as I've said before, and we were just talking about this yesterday, Martin, at the year in review, and thank you for attending that whenever there's something that happens anywhere in SCNG, it benefits the City of Cornwall, it benefits Akwesasne, and that's reciprocal. We're tied in together here, and we're one area. So working together to advance our interests for Eastern Ontario, and again, past Kingston, where we tend to be forgotten about. We get to Toronto and we call it the Far East because they always seem to forget about us there. But that's, we say that in jest, but there's a level of seriousness to that. But we work together to make sure that we have a better life here for everybody involved, and every government here and every municipality in this region. Certainly I've had the privilege of working with you in the past, Martin. Looking forward to continuing that relationship. I'm going to mention the airport. I know that's a little contentious right now, Mayor Loughlin. But certainly at the same time, I want to take a moment because as Chief Benedict was saying, there's been a few wardens in my time around the table too. I've had the pleasure of working with Tony Fraser. Pleasure, maybe, Jamie McDonald. But in all seriousness, thank you for your work over last year, Jamie, and now yourself. You guys go through wardens as often as the City of Cornwall goes through CAOs. I just want to point that out there. Maybe that's a little bit too soon, but I say that in jest. And with that, I see the cane coming out. My time here is at an end. But in all seriousness, congratulations. It's well deserved. I'm very happy for you, and I look forward to continuing our partnership. Thank you, merci, Noah.
Warden-elect Yves Laviolette from the United Counties of Prescott and Russell could not be here today, but sent his heartfelt congratulations to Warden Lang and affirms his commitment to a productive collaboration in the year ahead with SDNG. Jamie McDonald, immediate past warden for the United Counties of SDNG, will now present the warden's pin to Warden Lang.
Done yet. So it says on here, put the pin on Martin, shake his hand, and don't speak. So, Martin, I know County Council, we're very excited to have you as our leader, and you are definitely one of the nice guys of politics, which was evident with everybody getting up and speaking and saying nasty things about me and nice things about you. But do you ever notice that Martin sounds a little bit like Forrest Gump? You know, no, seriously. I sometimes like to go to Jack's Pub. And sometimes I drink too much. So I just call my Jenny, and I say, Jenny, come get me. I love my Jenny. Please, nobody give him a box of chocolates over the Christmas holidays. It'll spend all holiday season trying to figure out the meaning of life. So, but Martin, I just want you to know there's lots of people here that can help lead you, and I definitely will be around to help you through anything. You know, I've had to do this with Councillor Fraser and Councillor Williams, and before that, former Warden Ian McLeod. Just kind of sometimes have to hold people's hands, and people wonder, how do I steer them correctly? So it's unfortunate I'll have to get it resized, but it's fit for Tony Fraser. But yeah, so if I can just get that over your head. Best puppet warden ever.
I would now like to turn the floor over to Warden Lang to deliver his inaugural address.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here. It's a very important occasion, but it's quite humbling, actually, and making you sit up here at the front. And anyway, but I'm honored. I am very honored. It's an absolute honor to be here and to be sworn in as Warden of the United Counties of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry. Your presence means the world to me. Like, I'm so happy to have everybody here support me. Very, very much appreciated. So first and foremost, I want to extend a heartfelt thanks to my family. As most of you know, we operate a cash crop farm in Williamstown, and the responsibilities of an elected official often take you away from the farm, and it's my family that steps up and looks after the work that I should be doing, but I'm away, so much appreciated. Try not to get too emotional today, so I'm just going to say that Jenny, my daughter Maggie, my son William, my daughter-in-law Christina, son-in-law Justin, my wonderful grandchildren Henry, Evelyn, Owen, Aiden, Stella is making a little bit of noise over there, but she's happy as can be. You guys provide me with a lot of support, unwavering love, and it's so much appreciated. So very much. And as well, I have a lot of extended family here and friends, and I just want to thank you for your support. I see everybody's smiling face out here today. It makes you realize how important family and friends are, and they mean a lot to me. More than you might realize, but more than I say sometimes too. So very much appreciated, everybody. To my fellow members of County's Council, and the dignitaries for being here, thank you so much, everyone. Your presence, I think, reflects just the commitment that we have to this region and the prosperity of this region and our general well-being. Everybody's committed. They show up at things, and it's very, very much appreciated. I would like to thank especially Councillor Karma Williams and Lachlan MacDonald for nominating me. Thank you. To Councillor Tony Fraser for acting as the installing officer. Sorry, Tony, there was so much to go through there, but it was much appreciated. Council's placed a great deal of trust in me, and I'm humbled to serve as your warden, and I'm going to do it to the best of my abilities. I have big shoes to fill. There's been a pile of past wardens, and I'm just going to mention Jamie. And last year, he acted with passion, professionalism, and Jamie is a real advocate for our region. I've been, as he calls it, his puppet for the last 3 months, kind of learning the ropes. And I am quite impressed by how much he cares about this region. And he jokes a lot, but he's serious about our region. And thank you very much, Jamie. I appreciate it. So I promise to dedicate myself to representing the values and priorities of our region with integrity, dedication, the support of the county's staff, and that's municipal and at the upper tier, has not gone unnoticed. And I have to say that it's very, very much appreciated. There's quite a few staff here, and council and myself appreciate all that you guys do and your dedication to this council and our region. Much appreciated. So it was mentioned there are a few past wardens here today. Charlie Sangster, Jim McDonnell, Brian McGillis, Ian McLeod, Bill McGimpsey, Eric Duncan, Jamie McDonald, Karma Williams, and Tony Fraser. So your leadership and your vision have paved the way for the progress that we continue to build upon. So it's our job to take that and to run with it and continue going. And I thank you for your service. Thank you very much. So we're lucky to live in a region that's rich in history. So just a little bit of an interesting fact. I grew up in Williamstown on a farm known as Fraserfield. The owner of that farm, Colonel Alexander Fraser, just happened to be the first warden of what was then known as the Eastern District. He was a warden serving from 1842 to 1849. So his leadership and determination ensured that in 1850, this region was kept intact and was now called the United Counties of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry. A little bit of a twist. Colonel Fraser in 1950 ran for warden of the newly formed counties, but his son-in-law beat him out. His son-in-law, Daniel McIntyre, ended up being the warden. So maybe a little note to myself, if my daughter-in-law or son-in-law decide to run against me, maybe it's time to step aside. So here we are, approximately 70 years later, 175 maybe, and I'm deeply honored to carry on that tradition. And I'm deeply honored to serve as the new warden of the SDNG counties. I'm excited to build on the relationships, and there was a lot of, the speakers, a lot of talk of relationships, and I'm excited to work on those relationships with our local municipalities, the City of Cornwall, the Mohawk Council of Akwesasne, Prescott-Russell, the dedicated federal and provincial representatives, MP Eric Duncan and MPP Nolan Quinn. And by continuing to collaborate, I think that we can make this region the envy of all of Ontario. So in closing, I once again want to thank you all for your support, your encouragement. I want to move forward together in a united vision for 2025. And I hope we all have a safe and prosperous 2025. And let's continue to enrich this wonderful region that we live in. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. So this concludes our program. We will have a luncheon planned at ESCA, which is at 317 Pitt Street. So we encourage everybody to join us this afternoon for a little gathering. And we'd like to extend my heartfelt thanks for everybody coming this morning. So thank you.